Zillow is planning on banning homes from being listed on their website if a homeowner decides that they want to privately list their home first before sharing it to the public. In 2024, about 25% of homes never made it to Zillow, and they did not have a problem with that. But now if Zillow actually follows through with this, let's just say that 25% number, it is going to increase starting in May of 2025. Everyone hates real estate agents, but I think now it's more important that an agent is a part of your real estate team. Call me biased, that's fine. But when you learn that there are 23 million available homes for the 29 million people who want a home in a 300 to 500,000 price range, you should begin to ask yourself, how will you find your perfect home if Zillow begins removing specific listings that don't fit their guideline? Why is this all such a big deal? Well, because Zillow essentially took this all to a whole nother level. I want you to put yourself in these shoes and just imagine that you had a home that you are ready to go ahead and sell, but you want to do it more privately, more quietly for whatever apparent reason. You and your agent, you're on the same page, so you guys are still going to advertise to see if you can still get that home sold, which means that agent is going to advertise on maybe their website, social media, word of mouth, within their office. They're going to do something where it's not going to be in the public's eyes just quite yet. And because of that decision that you both just made and those actions that were done, Zillow is essentially saying, no, not on my platform. It's not going to go there. And the sad part is that's where a lot of you guys are all on Zillow looking at homes on a consistent basis. So that all could essentially mean your dream home is already for sale, but you may have never known it ever existed. So essentially, Zillow is targeting any home that is being advertised or even marketed privately to get all those homes to literally just go to their platform so that, of course, those individuals that are looking online can see it. But we can't take away the fact that these are actual homeowners that have a decision to make on how they even want to advertise their home at the end of the day. I don't think that's something that somebody should be trying to even control. But I digress. I'm going to leave it at that. I will say, if you have a real estate agent at this point in time that shares with you a lot of information about homes that aren't about to hit the market or going to hit the market, I should have said, then this is the time where I'm going to say that may slowly but surely come to an end. But hear me out when I say this, because this is even worse than I think was about to be implemented, because this is something that Zillow is doing right now. Over 7% of home sales are for sale by owners, and Zillow is already limiting the visibility of all for sale by owner homes. You know why I could really say that? Let me ask you this, and let me know in the comments below. How many of you can go to Zillow and find just for sale by owner homes? And I'm talking without Googling it, without trying to do additional research. How many of you can do that? Let me know in the comments. It's unfortunate that all of this really came about once the National Association of Realtors made an announcement of a new MLS policy, which essentially gave sellers more options on how they can list their own home. And it doesn't really help that one of the real estate brokerages by sales, one of the largest, is Compass, when they actually have a marketing strategy. And one of their strategy is a coming soon phase where homes will literally go onto that market, or at least go into that area, website, wherever they put it essentially. And only specific individuals can see it. If you didn't know that, well, there you go. There's a gem on how to find off-market homes, or even homes that most of the public doesn't know about. But when Zillow called swift of all of this and that MLS policy being put into place, they immediately put their foot down and was like, nope, not on our watch. This isn't going to happen. Because a strategy like that literally directly impacts them, especially if a lot of homes don't show up on their website, which their goal is to get all, I guess, real estate, to be the real estate platform. This is why I say a lot of times, depending on who you're partnered with can really determine how your real estate or even your home buying experience really is. So if you do need any help connecting with the real estate agent in your local area, there is a link in the description below. Be sure to click the link, fill out the entire form. That way I can get in touch with you and we can connect you to somebody that's actually going to help you, maybe even share with you some off markets, or just give you a little bit of information that not everybody's aware of. Because if you're not here with me yet, I really need you to hear me out now, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. Because Zillow's new policy, them trying to implement it starting May of 2025, what it can actually do is widen the gap of the homes that what you see versus what's actually available. And the reason I say this is because I don't necessarily see everyone conforming to this. All Zillow is trying to do is literally take away exclusivity, but I think that's ultimately going to mean a lot less visibility and more private listings taking place. I can share that with you because I'm a real estate agent. I'm around everyone, whether it's homeowners, other real estate agents, real estate professionals, you name it. So do what you want with that information. But one thing I would definitely say is Zillow's always going to say this is always going to be about fairness, making sure that everyone sees the listing at the same exact time. Let's be realistic for a little bit. All right, in America, it's a capitalism economy without a doubt. The one part that I think Zillow's failing to say or even mention, which I won't really get into too much of the detail, but let's just say everything being private, everything going to private listings, exclusivities, that hurts their bottom line. And I can see all of this playing out and really impacting high demand areas and really desirable homes. Homes that everybody wants or is at least looking for. And the reason why I say that is because off markets already occur. And when I say off markets, I'm meaning homes selling off market is already a thing. In fact, let me put something in perspective for you. Around 1.2 million US home sales has happened in 2024, and they've all been done off market. And I can speak from personal experience of working with sellers. Sometimes they literally will tell you, hey, let's just test the private market and see if I can get this home sold and avoid having a ton of people walk in and out of my home. If they're not unable to do it, then what is it that they'll do? They'll just put it on the public market to then let the masses see it, and hopefully they can get their home sold that way. Sounds like a good plan, right? However, with Zillow's plan, their whole new policy that they're trying to put in place, if anybody goes to the private market and doesn't list their home on the public market within 24 hours, that home will never make it to the public market. And as a first-time home buyer, this literally hurts you as more than anyone, simply because most places are already tight with inventory. Now we're talking about homes not actually going on the market at all. So here's what you got to do as a first-time home buyer now. You have to make sure your agent has MLS access. If you are going to use Zillow, be sure that is not your only resource. Then I want you to search local real estate groups, maybe on Facebook, and just look to see what's going on there. A lot of times you'll be surprised, but that's where the off markets are happening. And this one, I don't know how effective it's going to be, but you can follow your local real estate agents just to see if they're still going to consistently post homes, or at least give you an idea of a home that may come to market. But this last one is probably the most important one. I want you to ask that agent, can you show me homes that are not on Zillow? If they look confused, might be time to find another agent. And if you need help with that, be sure to click the link in the description, fill out the entire form. That way I can get in touch with you and we can connect you to a local agent that's going to help you find on and off market, and so you know exactly what you're looking at and what's actually available. But here's something to think about. There's already a loophole that was found in Zillow's policy, which is if a home seller fires their original agent and relists with a whole nother agent, then that home can find its way back, or at least for the very first time, onto Zillow's website. So essentially what that is stating to me is either going to be a bunch of people firing or a bunch of people breaching that contract between the listing agent and the home seller. But I'm not going to get into the weed of it. Just know that there's already a loophole, which means there's probably going to be plenty of more to come. It's no secret that Zillow is the most used website, especially when it comes to real estate. But what this new policy is going to start doing is going to start reshaping what you actually can see, while not even informing you on what you're actually missing out on. And as a first-time homebuyer, especially in these markets with inventory constraints, it's more important now than ever that you see every single home out there, not the home that Zillow just wants you to see. But just as much as I enjoy making these videos for you, my name is Roney Polynice, and remember, I got your back.